Hey guys, would you turn the light on for me, please? It's Christina with leadsandleverage.com. How are you guys? It's nice and bright. Checking in here. Today we're going to talk about, the 4 core places that real estate agents should be spending their lead generation budget today. So if you're watching this in replay, somewhere up top, if you hover over this video, there is a subscribe button. It's live subscribe. So if you click that, you should get notifications of future live events that I'll be doing. And my goal is to do one every day of the week, except for weekends. So every day of the week. So that's my goal. Hey, Mary, everybody's popping in. So if you want to be notified, definitely click that live subscribe. It's somewhere up there. I think it's probably on this side, but I don't remember. Today, we are going to talk about the 4 core places. I'm looking at my notes. 4 core places you should be spending your lead generation budget. And this is specifically for real estate agents. I know that there are some lenders on here, and actually this will be cross-platform. The places I'm going to tell you and where you should spend it and how you should spend it, this will work for anybody in the real estate industry, whether you're title, lender, real estate agent, but I'm going to be very specific for real estate agents. Do me a favor, whether you're watching this live or in replay, would you click like or make a comment so I just know you're here. I'd love it if you would introduce yourself because I'd like to get to know you. That's why I'm doing the lives. So you're on fleek. What does that mean? I have teenagers that don't use, my eyebrows are on fleek. What does that mean? My teenagers tend not to use whatever the words are, so I have no idea what that means. And I know you have teenagers, Mary. So yours are probably much more hip. Oh, perfect. Oh, thank you. And I was just thinking of looking at them going, gosh, I need them done again. So that's funny. Isn't that funny? It's a girl teenager thing. Oh, that's true. I have 4 boys. You're right. My boys dress pretty nice. It's really funny. They don't do their eyebrows and stuff, but they do dress pretty nice. And it's funny because we have friends that have a son who is 14, and he always feels, at first he felt intimidated because he's like, because my 2 older, 18 and 19, they dress nice. They're not into the hipster stuff. They're into looking nice. And so they wear nice outfits, and this 14-year-old felt intimidated by them at first because he's like, oh, I like the way they dress. So he admired them. Hi, Cheris. So, but his mom was like, why'd you go meet them? They're kind of nice. You can't get, we have one like that, Mary, and he's 18, almost 19, our third one. Yeah. Some, not so much. My other 3, totally into it. So today we're going to be talking, now if you guys I notice a lot of you are coming on, let me know that you're here. Click like or comment. I would really like to meet you. That's why I'm doing live streams. I mean, I'm doing them to help you, but I'd like to meet you. I'd like to get to know you. So the 4 core places you should be spending your lead generation budget. And as real estate agents, gosh, usually when we hear something like that, we're thinking, hey, Jennifer, we're thinking somebody's going to tell us like, you need to buy this piece of software and you need to do this kind of direct mail thing. And hey, Donna, yeah, see, I don't see when everybody's here. Some people, it shows me that you guys have joined. Hi, Bobby. Sometimes it shows me you guys have joined, and other times it doesn't. So I'm like, yeah, let me know. And usually we hear all these things like buy this, do that. And actually, the 4 core places that I'm talking about are a little bit different. One of the things that we do as real estate agents in our real estate industry, and I touched on this just a tiny bit yesterday. I think Lisa asked me the question about should she run local awareness ads, and I kind of went down that path a little bit. But one of the things that we do is we tend to, as an industry, and we perpetuate this, say that, oh, I need to get my name out there. I need to let people know, about me and aware, like the awareness idea. And that is probably one of the worst concepts that we can actually think about and do. And the reason why, I mean, I get the concept way underneath this whole thing, but when we're focusing on just getting our name out there, really what we're doing is we're firing a shotgun in the middle of the sky and hoping a bird flies across its path. That's what we're doing. So we never want to focus any of our money spending efforts on something as random as getting our name out there. So when I talk about lead generation, I'm talking about targeted and just very, very focused. So we're actually going to get results. Everything that I'm going to talk to you about today is, it has tangible, trackable from the moment you do it to the closing table. You know every step of the way how you got the lead, how you nurtured the lead, etc. So we're not going to do some random shooting a shotgun in the sky and hoping a duck flies across, or a goose, or whatever we want. So really, that's what we do when we say, I'm going to get my name out there. So first, we need to change our mindset, and we need to focus on what's actually going to change the results of our business, because that's why we're lead generating. We want more business, but in order to get more business, we kind of have to change what we're doing. So the very first thing that I have on my list, I'm looking at my notes. All right. Very first thing that we need to spend our lead generation budget on. Can anybody guess what it is? Do any of you guys have, what do you think it might be? Just out of a random. What's one of the 4 things you think that we need to, as agents, spend our lead generation budgets on? Just go ahead and make a comment and let me know. I'm curious, because I'm looking through my list, and I'm fairly certain that this is a little bit. Jennifer, Facebook. That's because Jennifer, you're one of my FDS members. That's actually not on the. Well, it sort of is on the list. I mean, yeah, website. What else, guys? These are good. What do you think one of the 4 places you should spend your lead generation budget are? What's really interesting about this, as you're responding, what's really interesting about this is that I wrote an article for Inman last year, and it was in the fall of last year, so almost a year ago, about 9 months ago. And I, Mary, I'm gonna slap you. The paying someone to write it part. And it hasn't, what's interesting is that I shared these 4 things, actually I shared 5, and they haven't changed. They actually haven't changed probably since the early 2000s. It's just, in fact, they're becoming stronger and stronger that way. So Mary knows my joke. Yeah, I see the faces and funny things. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. The first of the 4 is we need to spend our money on training. Now, hold that thought. We need to dive into and learn things that are outside of our comfort zone. And there's a couple places, things about this that I'm talking about. So we need to go to training, and I'm not talking about, these are all good things, but they're not the best. I'm not actually talking about that training, that free stuff that you get maybe from your association or the title companies, or really even things like NAR Tech Edge. And don't get me wrong, these are not bad things. I'm talking about going outside the industry. I'm talking about finding out how businesses are scaling, how they're generating leads, what are they doing? So going outside of the real estate industry and diving into what's actually working, which businesses are actually growing, which businesses boomed through the bust. Why is Apple so incredibly powerful? Why is their business model working so well? What are they doing? What's different? That's an example, and why, despite Droid's best efforts, Apple still dominates. Why is that? So, and I'm not talking about, this isn't like a Ford, Chevy, Coke, Pepsi, Apple, Droid thing. That's not what I mean. What I mean is we need to go through some trainings by people who are actually making it happen. who are actually outside of the real estate industry. So the other piece of this is, if you're not tech savvy, you don't need to be a website coder, but you've got to understand what you have and how to use it. So if you have a Droid or an iPhone, you need to know how to use the silly thing. My hair's driving me nuts. Sorry, guys. You need to know how to use it. Just saying, oh, I don't know how to do this and stuff. You got to know how to use what you have. That's one of the big things. That's one of the areas you can invest in training. So be outside of the industry, find out how businesses are working, whether that training is through reading books, going to legit training things. I'm not talking about some of those, like I said, all the free stuff. Go to some good stuff. Get some good training. Stop focusing on continuing ed and start focusing on changing your business, building and scaling your business. Yes, we need our CE stuff. Take what you need for that, but don't use that don't say that taking that and doing that is actually helping you. It's helping you renew your license. It's not really helping you change your business. I mean, think about it. I was just in, one of the Facebook groups that I manage, and I think it was the membership group, and we were talking about designations. And I know the connection's a little bit weak, but I've been watching the replays, so I'm going to keep going because I think you can probably still hear me. One of the things we were talking about designations and why have designations, and I was sharing that we had several and we gave them up, and that we say, oh great, this designation's wonderful. The consumer doesn't care. And if you really want to be honest to yourself, all these designations kind of teach the same thing. Even the CRS designation, and yes, I'm going to mess with CRS. CRS is much harder to attain than any other designation. However, a lot of the classes in it are the same quality. It's the same stuff that's perpetuating through the industry. We need to step outside the industry. So the other thing is, I'm going to check my notes here. Okay, so here's the thing. As you do your training, so when you don't know something or how something works or what it's doing for you, as you're doing your training, think like this. Don't think how quickly you can outsource the entire thing. Think what tasks are involved that I can outsource. What strategy is going on here that I need to understand. So you need to separate those. It's not, like I said, this is not just about outsourcing. Don't outsource your business so much that you lose your business, that you lose the reins of your business. So when you're going through a training or going through any of the trainings, step number one is trainings. When you're going through the trainings, make sure you're thinking outsourcing tasks, not strategy. You still need to understand what you're going through and why you're going through it. And this is the other thing. When you understand your business and the future of your business and what you want to do with it. Okay, it looks like maybe a little bit back. Maybe. I was talking with you guys on the, think I'm back. Nope, I'm back. Yes. Woohoo! It looks like it's back and it's good. I'm back. I'm letting you guys know that. So, back to where I was. Here's a couple things that happen. Here's what happens. And let me know if you guys are still here. Go ahead and comment so I can see your comments on the video thing, so I know that you guys are still here. One of the things that we tend to do is we'll outsource the strategy and understanding. So we'll go, I don't need to get training on Facebook, and I don't need to get training on, need to turn off the heat, on emailing or blogging. I don't need any of that training because I'll just have somebody else do it. Like Mary said, I'll pay someone else to do it. And if you don't understand why you would even use those things, then you need training. You need to understand. You need to go and find out and understand how they play in, how they connect, how they work for what your goal is, what you want to do. Hopefully, I'm going to get some comments. I may not actually see your comments on my phone. Okay, so I'm not seeing your comments on my phone, but I am seeing them, and I have another weak connection. Just keep holding with me. Anyway, okay, so I see agents do that, and really the key point here is get training. If you don't understand, if you think that Facebook is just I'm going to put ads out and get leads, most agents kind of just say, I want to do ads, I want to advertise my listings, and you need to have a mindset shift on how to bring in leads and how your listings actually sell, how you as an agent can build a better business. So here's the second thing. Yesterday I talked a little bit in the outsourcing thing about not outsourcing the relationship driven aspects of your business, because you want to build a relationship. You want to build know, like, and trust. So the whole point from you being on Facebook and you emailing, doing your emails, and you being in the presence of people is because you're building a relationship with them. So you don't want to outsource that relationship. You just don't want to do it because you won't ever build it. You won't ever increase it. So it's just as easy to create and nurture a relationship with one person as it is with 1,000 people, if you don't outsource the relationship building aspects of your lead generation. So that's key. So number one, you need training. And I'm seeing all the comments now. That's awesome. They're coming through. This is good. Good. Yep. Back in. Yep. Hi, Lisa. Good. Awesome, guys. I know I lost people because of the weak signal. Number 2 of the 4 lead generation places you should be spending your money is social media. Now, here's what I see. I see agents go kind of 2 directions, 2 different places. They either ignore it completely, or they think they have to be everywhere on every platform known to man. And that is not helped when we go to all of these conferences or all these trainings and people are telling us, oh, we need to be on Snapchat, we need to be on Meerkat, we need to be on Blab, and we need to be on Periscope, and we need to be on Twitter, and we need to be on, everything, just Pinterest and blah, 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 and LinkedIn and everything. That doesn't help. So here's the thing. I know that people say, well, pick the 2 that you like the best, or pick the 1 that you like the best. Here's where you need to do. First of all, there needs to be 2 pieces to choosing your platform. The first piece, where do you feel the most natural? Okay. Now, I caveat that. There are some agents who think that Facebook is like an egocentric brag fest. Okay, so in some cases, yeah, there are people out there. Facebook itself is an awesome connection platform. It's also where most of the world is, on Facebook. Yes, people are at different places, different things like that. But if you're doing residential real estate, if your main focus is residential real estate or even investors between 1 and 4 units, you need to be on Facebook. Here's the other thing. It is... because that's where they are. It's the easiest to be on without having to conform to a certain vibe. And here, what I mean by that is, I've always kind of felt uncomfortable on Twitter because I don't like following the feeds all the time. It's a chaotic mess over there for me. Even though I use lists, it's still a chaotic mess over there for me. I hate that. I hate not being able to follow conversations. So for me, it didn't work real well for me. Facebook did. Now, Facebook gives you more freedom. You've got other places you can go, but I just wanted to help you. So you have to make sure that you fit the vibe and the vibe fits you. That's the first one. Second of all, where are your leads at? Where are your people at? Where are your customers at? So if number 2 is social media, where are they? Well, they're on Facebook. And if you believe the myth that millennials aren't on Facebook, do your research. They're on there. If you believe the myth that seniors aren't on Facebook, do your research. They're on there. They're there. So make sure social media, getting your name out there will not bring you business, but when you build relationships and dig deeper, you're going to get more business. And that's what social media allows you to do. All right. The third one. This one's actually, I call it online. Okay. It's actually, we'll throw up a template site and just call it good, or we'll hire out a custom site and we'll spend maybe some hours engaged with the creators, maybe even have the content made for us, and we call it good. And we think that's great. Or we hire somebody to do our SEO for our site. It's almost like we think that a website is, we still have this mentality that we think that a website is just an electronic brochure. No matter how exciting and engaging and how pretty and how recent and how trendy it is, we still treat it like a brochure, where a brochure is something that you create and then just throw out. I mean, literally you throw out to people. You hope that it's valuable, or it's like you have a brochure just to give something to people. Like you can't just talk to them. You feel like you have to give them a card and a brochure and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like people need crap. They don't need crap from you. They need you. They need to know you. They need to understand you. So don't just get a website and let it be another piece of crap, digital or actual paper or not. It's still just another piece of crap if you're not actually trying to build relationships with people on it. Your website is leveraged at a much higher value when you're on there blogging. Oh, God forbid we blog. Yeah, really. I mean, like we spend time and we actually talk to people and we teach them things and we help them on their journey of home ownership. That's relationship building. That builds know, like, and trust relationships. And guess what? It gets them to listen to you and believe you when you tell them that a Zestimate from Zillow sucks and it's not going to help them. They're not going to believe you otherwise. So that's why you would use your online presence. You would use your online presence to build a relationship, not just to give them a whole bunch of crap. They want to know your insight. You need to show them why you're different. They don't believe you when you tell them why you're different. You need to show them. So that's what number 3. Number 3 is online, mostly a blog site that you're engaged in. And no, we don't. Like Mary McIntosh jokingly said, I knew she was joking because we've had conversations, said you pay someone else to write for you. That's one of the worst things you can do. You might as well not even have a blog. You might as well not. Seriously, if you're getting a website done and you're relying on whatever canned content that they're giving you for the pages that you're starting out with, just don't even bother. Don't even bother. You need to be the person. You need to be the one talking about it. You need to be the one sharing it in your voice all through your website. All right. And I talked several things about what type of online presence you need. Obviously, it needs to be mobile responsive. We're all using these devices. I mean, right now I'm using a phone. So we want to make sure that whatever we do is easy to read, see, do, watch on the phone. Second, we need to be lead capture optimized. And here's the problem with this. I have seen what a lot of people call lead capture optimized, and I'll talk, top real estate website vendors and stuff they call lead capture optimized because it's got a few forms in a few places. That's not lead capture optimized, guys. I'm talking about like every single place that you do something, you have a next step, a next logical step in the customer journey. So if you write a blog post and you give somebody information on, let's say that you're really want to be focused on energy saving homes. You really are, your mission is to help the environment and you want to help people buy green homes. Okay. So, and live in green homes and change their homes over to being a green home. So let's just say that we'll use that as an example. So one of your blog posts, if you're talking about it, you could really go into, here's how to really save some money on your electricity. And you're just going to focus on light bulbs. I'm narrowing this down. You're just going to focus on the light bulbs that they use. Okay. So if you write a blog post about saving money, helping the environment and saving money, or helping the environment through your light bulb consumption, etc., what's the next logical step? What's the next logical step that someone would want to take if they read that article? Great. Okay. So where would I get these light bulbs? That's the next logical step. Or, so what can you do? You can provide a PDF with local places that they can buy the right kind of light bulbs, or online resources for that, but something that they can just give you their email for, because that's the next logical step. If that makes sense. So when you write an article or you write a blog post, be thinking of the next logical step that your person is going to be going through in that customer journey, because that's what you're doing. You're bringing people in to your presence so that you can help them on their journey. So think that through. So lead capture optimized, I mean, don't think it's just a form. It's the next step. In every moment, every place that you are, the next step. If somebody lands on an article about, okay, it's a buyer's market, how do I sell my home and get the best price for it? And you give them details on that. So what's the next logical step? It's not always home value. It might be, but what is the next one? So think on that, depending on your avatar, etc. All right, here's the next one. I mean, this is part of this, still under this number 3 of online. Content marketing focused. Okay, so content marketing focused doesn't just mean blog posts. It means giving value, giving content. And you know those canned content pages I was talking about when you first get a website? That's content marketing too, guys. So what value are you giving? How are you helping people? How are you helping people enjoy the lifestyle in your area? And I'm not talking about hyper-local blogging to where you're getting, you know, the Christmas tree farms and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. You want the right kind of traffic, not just traffic. I'm talking about if lifestyle, I'm talking about things like, what does it look like to live in a certain neighborhood? Is it a neighborhood where it's people who are not, they're mostly in condo living, so they're not out on the streets, or there's not really a lot of walkability, but the benefits are the condo complex is totally self-contained, etc. Or is it the opposite? Is it a neighborhood where people are constantly out walking around the neighborhood? They know their neighbors. They can leave their home for a week and know that their neighbors are going to watch it and it's going to be safe. Or, you know, is it someone who likes more sustainable, maybe survival type living where there are no neighbors? What is it like? What is it like? Think about that and what it would mean for somebody to live there. What would their life look like if they lived there? That's what I mean by lifestyle focused. All right. Number 4 of the 4 lead generation sources. Are you guys still here? I'm not seeing any comments. I hope that's not a tech thing. So let me know if you're here. Let me know your thoughts, concerns. Say, Christina, you're ridiculous if I said something that just like, no way, I'm not going to do. The number 4. And this one's kind of a hard one for real estate agents. Because all of these are actually, because we think we need to be out real estating rather than doing any of these, but we forget that every single one of these are about lead generation. Good. I can see Jennifer's thing. Good. Okay. Number 4 is email. Here's the hard part. Yeah, there will be a replay, Tammy. It automatically replays. Here's the hard part about email. We think that we need to do touches. And we think that if we just send, you know, X amount of emails, then somehow it'll end up into a closing or a client. And so we hire vendors, or we use the really bad stuff that comes with our CRM, and we use that as our email. And we think that we're actually emailing people. And we wonder why email marketing doesn't work for us. It doesn't work because we're not actually having a conversation with our email list. So the reason that we're not nurturing people, the reason it's not working, and we know that in our gut, we know that when we're sending out these one sentence homogenous statements that come with things like Top Producer and Realty Juggler and all these other CRMs, you know, the stuff that just comes and it's automatic and done. There's no relationship. It's robotic. It doesn't actually move, again, it doesn't actually move people along the journey, along the path. Everything you do is about moving them from seeing them across a room and asking to have a cup of coffee with them to getting married. So I'm using a couple of analogies here. We're not moving them along the journey. And if we ever want to marry them, AKA have a closing with them, we've got to date them. And then we have to propose. And then we have to, you know, all this process. So we have to move them along. That has to happen in every relationship aspect that we have, relationship source that we have. Email is a major, major relationship source. And this is probably the number one underestimated resource that real estate agents don't use. The number one. When you step outside of the real estate industry and you look at the most successful although they're hard to find because they kind of keep quiet, but the most successful businesses in the last decade, the most successful, and I mean by most successful, I mean the highest profit, lowest expense, happiest customers, those businesses have a phrase, they have a mantra. That mantra is the money is in the list. That means that the value of your business is in the list. It's not in the size of your list, although the bigger the list, the better, but it's in how well you are working on a relationship with that list, how well you're nurturing that list. That means we need to be having a conversation with people at least, at absolute minimum, once a week. Not outsourcing it to some random thing that sends a random, here's the funniest travel things of every 3 weeks. That's not what I'm talking about. That doesn't actually help you. You might get some people responding back because it's funny, but you're not building a relationship. You're not moving people along the journey. When you build a relationship and you move people along the journey, you convert at obscenely higher numbers. So this is about, honestly, doing less work because you're bringing in better traffic and you're converting it higher. And not only that traffic, those people that you've converted, they're bringing in traffic for you too. Referrals, guys. They're bringing in referrals because you are awesome. That's really what it gets down to, because you actually care about them. You actually want to help them on their whole journey, that whole process. So through all of this, all 4 of these, from training, let me make sure, training, social media, online, and email, those four, every single one of them, there was a couple of underlying things here. 1, never, ever, ever, ever outsource the relationship. That's the worst thing you can do. 2, step outside the real estate industry. Please. You have to. That is why I teach what I teach and why I teach it. I stepped outside of the real estate industry years ago because we were on the web in 1995, actually, fall of 1995. We went on the web for the first time, got our first business. Actually, spring of 95, fall of 95, had our first cash closing sale from the web. And I went outside. There was nothing anywhere, but I stayed outside the industry looking and learning. And when I go inside the industry, I see the same kind of junk perpetuating itself. It's like a whole bunch of parrots got together and just kept teaching each other to talk, and they all say the same thing. So, and none of it, there's no backing of anything. We say we have industry conversion rates, and I'm like, well, yeah, because we're all comparing ourselves to each other instead of actually outside the industry and finding out, oh, wow, we're wrong. It's actually better over here. So a couple of these things, when I talk about this, I'm talking about conversion rates. Here's an example. We talk about converting, 1 out of 100 leads that come in to our list. That's crap. But that's kind of considered 1 to 3%. That's considered normal. That is really bad. We're talking about an 8 to 10% landing page conversion in the industry. That sucks. You want 40%. More is even better. We're talking about email conversions. We're talking about all these things. We just keep parroting back and forth. And we say, oh, but the top agents are getting these conversion rates. Well, yeah, because the top agents have never stepped outside the industry and changed what they're doing to work better. So if you want good traffic, and you want to convert it well, then you need to step outside the industry. You need to training, you need to be on social media, you need to be online, and you need to be doing email. So anyway, all this stuff. What do you guys think? How do you feel about this? Do you think I'm totally off my rocker? What do you think? I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes. Ooh, I have fresh water too. A couple minutes and I've got fresh water to drink. I was kind of talking a lot. I know there's a lot of you guys on. I'm going to look at online to see if there's any comments that I have missed. Can't see all of them. Let me know. What's your thoughts? see everything. Tammy says, I think we should be doing videos on our own Facebook business pages. I 100% absolutely agree with you, Tammy. Absolutely, 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 you should be. This is a great way to build a relationship with people. It's a great way to get to know people. It's a great way to find out what they're struggling with. It's a great way to learn what they think is missing. I know when we design a website or we get a new website, we go around and look at every other real estate agent's website. But what we don't do is we don't actually talk to the consumer and find out what they think that we're missing. Now, we have to take that into line here because we can't always rely on that. We need to look at stats too. So just be aware of that. Not Off Your Rocker actually presents a progressive approach. Yeah, it's like we should be doing this all along. Makes sense. I think you should do a daily motivation video like a Darren Daily. You know, actually, Lisa, my goal is to do a Facebook Live at 10 a.m. Pacific every day of the week, except for Saturdays and Sundays right now, because it really helps me get to know you guys. It helps me find out what you're struggling with. It helps me flesh out things that I'm going to write for admin or write for myself. And it helps me to fine tune pieces in my courses. So that really helps a lot. Yeah, Tammy says, I like this live thing. Now just have to figure out how, and a good Q&A sounds like a good topic. You know, actually, that would be a good, I've done how to do a live stream for my members. I could probably talk a little bit about it here on a live stream, not today, but on another live stream, which would be really valuable because there are aspects to it. It takes a while for people to get up and into the live stream and what to do and how to get them to convert and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Mary says, being a part of this community becomes priceless because it's hard to be the only one doing this. Yes, that is huge. And it's interesting. I felt it a lot in our real estate business. I felt like I couldn't really, well, I could, but I didn't feel comfortable hanging around other agents in my market because they didn't understand. And if I talked about it or how we were doing it, I would start to develop kind of their negative mindset. Like, oh, you need to be responding to your leads within 5 minutes. And I'm like, that ain't happening because I don't do that when I'm lead generating. And that ain't happening because I don't work on Sundays. And that ain't happening because I don't work after 6 p.m. So, but to say that, they're just like, they think you're nuts. They think you're nuts and you feel alone. And now in the business now, I'm not in real estate, but nobody really understands. You guys understand what I'm doing because I'm teaching you. So the easiest thing for me, but it's all online and we have our live events, but it is all online. So people don't understand, well, how do you have an online business? So then they think I'm in some sort of like crazy Amway-ish MLM type thing. So I do feel alone. I still feel that way. So I have to find my tribe, and that's awesome. That's why I totally agree with you, Mary. It's about finding my the right tribe for me. The right tribe for you. Yeah, Jennifer. Yes, absolutely. I've stopped disagreeing with people. When people ask us, it's funny because when we're normally in relationship with people, like in public, just all of us, we are trying to figure people out. We're trying to figure people out. We're trying to get to know them. And when we ask them what they do, like, what do you do? We understand when somebody says, oh, I'm a teacher, or, I work for the gas industry or the oil industry, or I'm a realtor, or whatever. We understand that. We're like, oh, okay. And we have a general concept of what they do. And now with me, I'm like, I just tell people I train real estate agents. I feel like I do so much more than that, but I just tell them I train real estate agents because they don't understand. So that's a big aspect to it. Any other questions, you guys? Any other comments? Any other thoughts? I'm looking at my thing. I got, I'm going through my list to see. I do have, if you are on this video page, there's a link. I gave you a link to a checklist of resources on places to spend your lead generation budget. So there's a checklist. It's free. I do ask for your email, but you can get the checklist. It's a PDF download. That one's free. So you can sign, and it's either below the video, depending on how you're looking at this, or if you're watching this in replay, it's either below the video or this way to the video, or that way. Oh, see, I know it's not above. I just don't remember which direction, because I think it's the opposite. I think I'm mirrored differently, wherever this is. So any other questions, you guys? And I know tomorrow's, I'm gonna look up tomorrow's real quick, so you guys know, tomorrow's topic is, ooh, this one's a good one. I'm going to talk about what you need to stop doing if you want to be the CEO of your real estate business. If you actually want to be in control. And I know I talked about outsourcing yesterday, and I kind of talked about a little bit about losing control, but this is a little bit different. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how to be the CEO of your real estate business. Any other questions, you guys? I'm here. I have another couple minutes. I will answer whatever you have, whatever you need. I love your comments. I love your feedback. I love your input. Your input is valuable. Tammy, I'm going to take yours, and I'm going to definitely have a topic on, I'll pick a few things, but getting the most out of a live stream, how to live stream. Let me write that down. Live. My pen just died. Live stream topic for one of my Facebook lives. Oops. Okay. Salt Lake City Living asks, how do we find the replay? So what'll happen is after I'm done being live, it takes about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's in the exact same place on the where you are right now. And you can just hit refresh and it'll do the replay for you. So that's awesome. So I will do a live stream topic. I'll plug it into, I think, next week, because I'm doing one every single day. So as you have topics that you want, drop them on my page, guys. As you have questions, drop them on my page and I'll answer them for you. Some questions I can't physically actually answer on live stream, because it's like how do I do this? And it's actually a tech aspect, and I need to physically show you with my screen. But most things I can help you with here. And the live streams I want to reserve for kind of our face-to-face relationship. Any other questions? Last minute comments? Thoughts? Goodbyes? Anything. So I want to make sure I give you guys all a chance. Looking at the phone. Okay. So I'm going to sign off for today. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. And we're going to talk about how to be the CEO of your real estate business and the one thing you need to stop doing in order to do that. Ta-ta for now. That's right, Jennifer. Thank you for joining, Renee. We're just ending. So if you wait a couple minutes, you'll be able to watch the replay. I appreciate you guys coming. So I will talk to you later and see you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.